All right, you guys, Tyler Patrick here, back with another tip for coping with COVID. Today's topic is about connecting to something bigger than yourself, connecting to God, and practicing your spiritual practices. We as human beings have a hard time because when things seem to go wrong for us, we go inward and we feel like we have to have control over everything. And it's in trying to find control in places that we actually have no control that we often find our biggest frustrations. We start to feel hopeless and helpless. We start to feel trapped. And when we feel those things as human beings, we begin to feel more and more depressed. We thus isolate more, and then our mental health suffers. During this time, you guys, this has been something I've felt some waves of go through in myself, where I feel such a responsibility to be taking care of my clients and to be taking care of my family. And I've been worried about a lot of the same things you guys are worried about with what's going to happen with my work and am I going to be able to provide for the people that I love. And those waves of emotion, they're really hard to manage. And so the natural tendency sometimes is to go in and say, well, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to fix this, I'm going to fix this, I'm going to fix this. And then it only takes a few minutes before I realize that I'm in a spot with this thing that I really don't have a lot of control. And when we get to those places, there is a benefit of knowing that we have somebody bigger to turn to and to reach to and to practice surrendering all of those things that we no longer have control over. And I know this is a topic that's a really hard thing for a lot of people. It's a pretty big struggle. But the truth is that managing our spiritual lives is just as important as managing any other part of our lives. And that we're all in a situation where we get a chance on a daily basis to wrestle with a higher power, to wrestle with somebody bigger than ourselves, and to practice giving over the things that aren't ours. And my experience has been that when I've been able to do that, I've received all sorts of things, from added love to feelings of protection to feelings of peace and calmness. And so the challenge today, you guys, is to think about your own spiritual lives. I know we're all on our own path. We're all struggling with our own journey, but the beauty is that we all get to take that journey and we get to have our own wrestle with God. And I would challenge you to make a list of those things that sometimes connect you to your higher power. For me, it's things like my spiritual practices, like scriptures and prayer and scriptural reading and music. Nature is another big one for me. Make a list of your spiritual practices, and today engage in one or two of those spiritual practices to give yourself over to the wrestle and struggle with a higher power. I'd love to hear what your experiences are. I'd love to hear what the results are in your lives as you continue to struggle and wrestle with this higher power. I know that in my life, I've come to believe that everything happens for a reason, and whether God means it to happen or makes it happen, what I do believe is that God gives us a chance to have something good come from anything if we're able to turn it back to Him and allow Him to do with it what He will. So good luck, you guys. Keep fighting. Have a good wrestle.